the first time, humanoid robots have beaten humans in a half marathon race, demonstrating the extraordinary advancements in the technology.
It starts like any other race, but this one is different. 12,000 runners are competing against more than 100 humanoid robots in a 21-kilometer half marathon in Beijing.
Something just happened on the streets of Beijing that experts say marks the end of human physical supremacy in endurance sports. Not a faster human, not a doping scandal, a robot. On April 19, 2026, a bipedal humanoid named Lightning, built by Chinese smartphone maker Honor, completed the Beijing E-Town Half Marathon in 50 minutes and 26 seconds, beating the human world record of 57 minutes and 20 seconds, held by Ugandan runner Jacob Kiplimo by more than 6 minutes. Running at an average speed of 25 kilometers per hour, smoking all 12,000 human competitors who lined up beside it. And the most terrifying detail. Last year, just 12 months ago, the fastest robot in the same race took 2 hours, 40 minutes, and 42 seconds to finish the same course, from 2 hours, 40 minutes to 50 minutes in 1 year. That is not progress. That is a velocity of capability gain that no Western nation has matched. And the country that built this machine just announced its blueprint to do the same thing to factory workers, soldiers, and elderly care workers across the entire planet. Share this everywhere, because what just happened in Beijing, a bright red Chinese humanoid named Lightning crossing the finish line at 50:26 to beat Jacob Kiplimo's world record by nearly 7 minutes, honors robots taking first, second, and third place in a clean podium sweep. Over 100 humanoid robots competing this year compared to just 21 last year, a 5-fold increase in participants in 12 months. Chinese firms now controlling roughly 90% of all humanoid robots sold globally, with 13,000 units shipped in 2025. Beijing's 2026 to 2035 year plan officially designating humanoid robots as a national strategic priority, and RBC Capital Markets forecasting a $9 trillion global humanoid robot market by 2050, with China capturing more than 60% of it, is not a sporting event. It is a public demonstration of an industrial weapon. Released in front of 12,000 human runners and global cameras, designed to send one message: China owns the next decade of physical AI. Before we reveal exactly how Lightning's liquid-cooled motors and 95-centimeter elite athlete legs broke physics that engineers said would take another decade, why Tesla's Optimus is now ranked 9th in global humanoid shipments behind 6 Chinese companies, and what the specific phrase Beijing's 5-year plan uses to describe its robot ambitions, tells you about where this technology is heading next. Subscribe to this channel right now and hit that bell. Because what Lightning did to Kiplimo's record is not the story. The story is what Lightning's existence proves China can now build at scale. Here is what Lightning actually accomplished, and why the specific time gap between this robot and the fastest human on Earth is the single most important data point in robotics history. Lightning, a bipedal humanoid standing 169 centimeters tall, finished the 21-kilometer course in 50 minutes and 26 seconds. The current human world record, 57 minutes and 20 seconds, was set by Ugandan distance runner Jacob Kiplimo in Lisbon last month. The gap is not seconds. It is not narrow. It is 6 minutes and 54 seconds. In a half marathon, 6 minutes is the difference between an Olympic gold medalist and an amateur weekend runner. Lightning ran at an average speed of 25 kilometers per hour, about 15.5 miles per hour. Sustained over 13 miles. Sustained. That word matters. Most humanoid robots can sprint for short bursts. Lightning held elite human pace for nearly an hour without overheating, without battery failure, without mechanical breakdown across 21 kilometers of real-world Beijing streets. The fastest human in Sunday's race, Zhao Haijie, finished in 1 hour, 7 minutes, and 47 seconds. The fastest woman, Wang Xiaoxia, finished in 1 hour, 18 minutes, and 6 seconds. Lightning beat both by margins that don't exist in human athletics. Now look at what happened just 12 months ago in the exact same race, and why the year-over-year improvement is the most alarming data point in this entire story. In 2025, the inaugural Beijing E-Town Humanoid Robot Half Marathon featured 21 participating robots. Only 6 of those 21 contestants reached the finish line. Many regularly fell, lost their heads, or spun out of control. The fastest robot last year, Beijing Humanoid Robot Innovation Center's Tiangong Ultra, completed the course in 2 hours, 40 minutes, and 42 seconds. 2 hours and 40 minutes to 50 minutes. In one rotation around the sun. Think about what that improvement curve actually means for every other capability domain. If Chinese humanoid robots cut their marathon time by 70% in 12 months, the same engineering velocity is being applied to factory floor manipulation, warehouse logistics, military patrol, elderly care, and combat support. This year, over 100 robots participated, nearly 5 times last year's number, from companies across 11 Chinese provinces. 5 times more entries, 12 times faster winning time. A capability explosion that has no equivalent in any Western robotics program. Just look at what Lightning is actually engineered with, and why the design choices reveal a strategy that copies elite human biology and amplifies it beyond human limits. Du Xiaodi, Honor's test development engineer, said the robot was modeled on outstanding human athletes, with long legs of about 95 centimeters, around 37 inches, 3-foot legs, designed to mirror the stride pattern of elite Kenyan and Ugandan distance runners. The robot is equipped with what Du called a powerful liquid cooling system, largely developed in-house. Liquid cooling, adapted from the smartphone industry, Honor's core business, to keep motors from overheating during hour-long high-intensity operation. University of Michigan robotics professor Yanren Ding told Scientific American that the bigger feat was heat management. It's really hard to make robots run robustly for such a long period of time. Heat management. The same engineering problem that limits military drone endurance, fighter jet electronics, and AI data center compute. China just demonstrated that its humanoid robotics industry has solved sustained high-output thermal management at consumer scale. Du Xiaodi said the structural reliability and liquid cooling technology could be applied in future industrial scenarios. Industrial scenarios. The marathon was not the application. The marathon was the proving ground for the application. And here is the detail nobody is connecting to this race, and why Lightning's victory exposes a capability gap between China and the United States that Tesla cannot close in this decade. Chinese companies controlled roughly 90% of all humanoid robots sold globally in 2025. 6 of the highest-selling companies in the sector were Chinese. 90% of an entire emerging industry. About 13,000 humanoids were shipped worldwide in 2025, according to research firm Omdia, with Chinese companies, led by AGI Bot, dominating the top 5 by shipments. Figure ranked 7th, Tesla ranked 9th. Tesla, Elon Musk's flagship Optimus program, the project he says could push Tesla's valuation to tens of trillions of dollars, is currently ranked 9th in global shipments, behind 6 Chinese competitors most Westerners cannot name. Agibot shipped 5,168 units in 2025 and reached its 10,000th robot by late March 2026, adding 5,000 units in just 3 months. 2 Chinese companies each outsold Tesla's entire 2025 production target of 5,000 units, a target Tesla failed to meet. Musk said at Davos that Tesla's Optimus would not be available for public sale until the end of 2027. End of 2027. Meanwhile, Chinese firms like UB Tech are targeting 5,000 humanoid robots in 2026 and 10,000 in 2027, with production costs falling 20% to 30% per year, supported by local government subsidies. 5,000 units this year from one Chinese company, while Tesla is still trying to figure out how to ship to the public. Now look at why the Chinese government specifically chose this race as a public demonstration, and why the timing maps onto Beijing's National 5-Year Strategic Plan. Beijing's latest 5-year plan vows to target the frontiers of science and technology, with humanoid robots and their applications named explicitly as part of the 2026 to 2030 plan for the world's second-largest economy. Not a sector, a national priority. Beijing's 5-year plan spotlights embodied AI, subsidizing over 150 humanoid robot firms. 150 companies, state-subsidized, competing internally for dominance, then deployed externally as Chinese exports. London-based technology research group Omdia ranked 3 Chinese companies: AGI Bot, Unitree Robotics, and UB Robotics Corp. as the only first-tier vendors in its global assessment for shipment numbers of general-purpose embodied intelligent robots. The only first-tier vendors on the entire planet are all Chinese. Counterpoint analyst Ethan Key told CNBC, "The depth of China's supply chain means companies can develop and manufacture robots at a significant cost advantage. The same supply chain advantage that destroyed Western solar manufacturing, dominated EVs, and now controls battery production is being weaponized against humanoid robots." And the marathon was the export brochure. And here is what makes this victory specifically more dangerous than any previous Chinese tech demonstration. Lightning is the consumer face of a military-industrial capability. Engineering student Chu Tianqi told Reuters at the race, "The future will definitely be an AI era. If people don't know how to use AI now, they will definitely become obsolete." Spectator Wang Wen told reporters, "The robot's speed far exceeds that of humans. This may signal the arrival of sort of a new era." Morgan Stanley doubled its 2026 China humanoid robot sales forecast to 28,000 units, shifting from government and entertainment buyers to businesses. 28,000 units in 1 year. From a country that just demonstrated it can build machines that outrun the fastest humans on Earth. By 2050, the firm predicts China's humanoid market could reach annual sales of 54 million units. 54 million per year. The same supply chain, the same engineering velocity, the same liquid cooling thermal management, now scaled to factory floors, warehouse fleets, and eventually military patrol units. One thing is absolutely certain. Lightning, built by Chinese smartphone maker Honor, completed the Beijing half marathon in 50 minutes, 26 seconds. It beat Jacob Kiplimo's human world record of 57 minutes, 20 seconds by nearly 7 minutes. Honor robots took first, second, and third place. Last year's fastest robot took 2 hours, 40 minutes, 42 seconds. Lightning improved on that by nearly 2 hours in 12 months. Chinese companies control 90% of global humanoid robot sales. Tesla's Optimus ranks 9th in shipments behind 6 Chinese companies. Beijing's 2026 to 2035 year plan names humanoid robots as a national priority, subsidizing over 150 firms. Morgan Stanley forecasts 28,000 China humanoid robot sales in 2026 and 54 million annually by 2050. RBC projects a $9 trillion global humanoid market by 2050, with China taking 60%. Lightning did not just beat a human record. Lightning beat the entire Western robotics industry's 2026 timeline. If Chinese firms maintain the year-over-year capability curve they just demonstrated, cutting marathon times from 240 to 50 minutes in 12 months, every projection about humanoid deployment in factories, warehouses, military, and elderly care will collapse forward by years, and the West will not catch up before Chinese robots are already embedded in global supply chains. If Tesla's Optimus delays to late 2027 hold, while Agibot, UB and Unitree scale to tens of thousands of units in the same window, the global humanoid market will be locked in by Chinese firms before American competitors ship a single consumer unit, replicating the EV outcome at higher economic stakes. If the same engineering teams that built Lightning's liquid-cooled drivetrain and 25 kilometers per hour sustained pace pivot to military or law enforcement applications, the strategic balance of physical autonomy on the modern battlefield shifts decisively east. Lightning crossed the finish line at 50:26. 12,000 humans were left behind. The world record fell, and Beijing's 5-year plan is just beginning. Stay tuned.